Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm doing another weird vintage recipe, and I don't know, this could go either way. It could be really good or really bad. Alright, if you're new here, hi, I'm Claire. Welcome to my channel. If you like cooking, especially vintage style cooking, be sure to subscribe because I really enjoy making these from time to time. This video is actually part of a series. I will leave a link to the playlist down in the description below. But if you haven't seen this yet, this is what we're cooking from. This is my grandmother's Better Homes and Gardens cookbook from 1949. She has filled it with all sorts of stuff dating from the 40s through the 70s, and I inherited this and I have been cooking all sorts of strange things out of it. I wanted to do something that sounded really bad but had the potential to be really good. And what I have settled upon here is this hot clam dip. This was submitted by Mrs. Arthur I. Rosenberg from Euclid, Ohio. And the date on this one, the date on this page is December of 1961. So this is from the Better Homes and Gardens magazine of 1961. Now all these ingredients seem to be pretty easy to find. I didn't have an issue collecting any of them, which is good. So yeah, let's get right into it. All right, for this recipe, we are going to use some canned chopped clams. I was really surprised that those were actually easy to find. I don't know, are people just using these all the time and I'm just finding out? We also have some Tabasco, an onion, some large ripe olives. We have some ketchup, some Worcestershire sauce, some processed cheese, and some butter. And I have selected these classic toasted rounds. They're like Ritz style crackers to serve with. So I told my mother that I was making this, and she 100% remembers my grandmother making this exact recipe when she was young. So I'm really happy we've stumbled upon one that is actually one that my grandma would make. And my mom said that she always served it with Ritz crackers, so that's why I opted for the toasted rounds. But I'm sure you could use all sorts of items to dip in the hot clam dip. All right, here we need 2 tablespoons of minced onion. I chose a yellow onion because that is what I had on hand, and that made sense to me. All right, there's 1. No, come on, brain, don't do this to me. All right, I don't know if I'm the only one here, but I have really, really sensitive eyes to onions. I can't even open them, so I couldn't even cut 2 tablespoons of onions. My husband's gonna have to come cut the other tablespoon. That's what he's good at. I need him for onion chopping. Gianni! Next we have our olives. It calls for chopped pitted ripe olives. So this seemed to be perfect. And we also need 2 tablespoons of these. I'm not a fan of olives, cause like honestly, this is kind of a weird recipe, but other than the olives, I like kind of like all the other ingredients. I don't know if I've ever had clams quite in this capacity, but I do love seafood, so I have high hopes for this, honestly. My mom remembers liking it as a kid, so I don't know. Maybe this is finally our hidden gem. All right, now we have our olives. Next, we are going to do the cheese. We are looking for 1 cup diced sharp processed American cheese. Velveeta was the best I could think of to kind of do that. In other recipes, I have used like Kraft singles, but I decided to go with Velveeta today. And of course, it has measurements on the side, so I think we can say, like 8 ounces. That seems like a cup. So I think that this is like a pretty accurate depiction of what processed cheese in the 60s was kind of like. All right, now that all of our prep is done, let's assemble. Drain clams, reserving 1 tablespoon of the liquor. I'm assuming they mean like the juices that it comes in. That's a weird word to use. I mean, clam liquor served in clam juice. We're gonna just say that it means clam juice. And that's just what Mrs. Arthur I. Rosenberg referred to it as in the 60s. All right, let's drain the clams and save some of that delicious juice. Oh, delicious. Anyone down for shots of clam liquor? I have never in my life cooked with canned clams. I've actually never cooked clams ever. I mean, I'll order them at a restaurant, but I've never cooked with them, and I'm actually super shocked. I thought these were gonna smell awful, but they smell like fresh and like the sea. Like I was expecting like a sad tuna / cat food kind of moment, but it's not happening here. I can't believe I'm like realizing right before your eyes that maybe I should have been eating canned clams my whole life. All right, step 1 is that we cook our onion in the butter until it is tender. That's a lot of butter for the like amount of other ingredients, I'm not gonna lie. All right, we're gonna throw our onions in there now. God, I am making a mess. All right, those are looking pretty tender to me. I'm gonna bump my heat down a little bit. Now I'm going to add my clams. We also want to add our extra little clam juice in there now. In addition to that, we are going to add a teaspoon of our Worcestershire. Honestly, I think Worcestershire makes everything better. We are also now going to throw in a tablespoon of ketchup. And of course, a few drops of everyone's favorite hot sauce, Tabasco. Oh, that has a smell. But it's not bad. I don't know how to describe this, but it doesn't smell bad. I mean, it looks bad, but it doesn't smell bad. All right, now we are going to go ahead and add our olives in there and our cheese, and basically we just need to stir this until all the cheese is melted and this is turned into a nice, delicious dip. Honestly, I can see why a processed cheese would be preferable in this situation because it does melt just like so much better than a traditional cheddar. So like, I feel it. I'm not anti-processed cheese. I do feel like it has its place in cooking. Gosh, this is just going all over the place. Anyway, I should probably just like hold it, you know? Like, it's not that hard, Claire. All right, our cheese is nice and melted, so it is time to plate this bad boy and give it a try. All right, this made more than I was like expecting it to make. And of course, it wouldn't be the 1960s if we didn't garnish it with some funny little things on the top. And plus I wanna make it look like the picture, and on the picture there are some olives on the top. Oh, perfect for my, I don't know, my bridge club. Is that what I'd be doing if it were 1961? Probably. I mean, it looks pretty similar. I would say that the dip in the photo is like a little more lumpy, but that could just be how they like photographed it. Ours looks a little bit smoother, but yeah, I think I'm ready to give it a try. All right, dear. Have some hot clam dip.
What? Why does it have olives on top?
Because I followed the recipe. Dig in.
Wait, are there olives like in it?
A little bit.
What else is in here?
Clams.
Okay.
Cheese.
Yeah.
Lots of saucy items. I think you're like, just take a try. I think it's gonna be good. Oh. Bottoms up. Cheers. It's totally good.
People really love their salt.
It actually doesn't have any added salt in it. That's just from the cheese and the crackers.
Well, and the clams, right? And the olives.
I don't think, yeah, I guess. Okay, all the things are a little salty.
It's like all salt.
So you're going in for another one though. It's kind of good though, right?
I mean, yeah. I'm just avoiding the whole olives. I don't really like olives.
I know, well, it's a garnish. But I think...
Aren't there olives like in it though?
Yeah, but I don't think the olives are really, like, I don't think they add like a whole ton of flavor. I think overall, it would be better if it was like more seafoody. I don't think the clams really were that strong. I think maybe adding more of the clam juice would have been better.
I mean, I don't need it to be...
Or maybe even the same style recipe, but with like chopped shrimp would be good. It was just slightly seafoody, but not like overpoweringly so, you know?
Yeah.
But I like all the textures because the cheese is really smooth and creamy, and then the clams are like a little bit chewy. I thought it was really delicious. I'm like totally surprised. Right after I'm done filming this, I'm gonna call my mom and be like, well, you've been sleeping on the hot clam dip all these years. Like, it's totally good.
It's not bad. Which is...
I mean, that's high praise, dear, from you.
That's all I really want from these. It's just for them not to be bad.
Yeah, well, then this one succeeded. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, if you want to check out those other retro recipes, I will leave them in the description down below. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.